Stephanie pleads not guilty to murder. Straight out to Nikki Pierce with WDBO. Tell me about the not guilty.
Well, she entered it via a letter, so she did not have to make an appearance. She also won't have to show up for her October 28th arraignment. Looks like the next time that she has to appear in court is going to be on November 5th for her pretrial for the other charges, not for the first-degree murder, but for the check fraud charges and the child neglect.
To Natisha Lance, our producer, standing by there at the Orlando jail. What about the child neglect charge? Won't that have to be dropped now?
Well, actually, they're saying that they are planning to go ahead with that child neglect charge at this point, and we have not heard otherwise, but they are still planning to go ahead with that. Everybody who has been subpoenaed is still planning to be in court on that day.
Let's unleash the lawyers, Penny Douglas Furr and Randy Kessler. To Penny Douglas Furr, I would think that this would be an opportunity for her to appear in court and make a resounding not guilty plea instead of just doing it by paper.
Well, that's true, Nancy. However, I also wanted to say on the other charge with the neglect, I would definitely go forward with that if I was her attorney.
I want to talk about the not guilty plea that just went down in court today. Kessler, what's your theory about why she's afraid to show up in court?
Well, look, she's got people like us on TV criticizing and analyzing every single move she makes. You know, she's not getting the good breaks in the press, so why would she come out and think that today's going to be any different? You know, not guilty is not guilty.
You know, Kessler, I'm sure that you and Penny remember that it helped O.J. Simpson when he showed up in court and said 100% not guilty. Firmly, affirmatively, he ended up getting acquitted on that charge at that time. I don't know. I think that this is a bad way to handle what could have been a good appearance for her in the public's eyes.
But we don't know what she was like. We don't know what her lawyer saw in her eyes. Maybe her lawyer knew that as she stepped into court, she was going to break down. She would not have that kind of appearance.
Break down the whole time to Dr. Lillian Glass, psychologist and author of I Know What You're Thinking. This entire ordeal, Lillian, she has cried, she has shed a tear, or appeared to shed a tear, twice when she was charged and in court the first time, and while the grand jury was meeting about her the second time. Never for her own daughter. Is she not going to break down in court?
Exactly. You're so right. These are alligator tears. And when you look at her body language, it speaks volumes. When you listen to her voice quality, the monotone, she doesn't care. It's all about her. And this is what's showing.
Lillian, yes. I know that you are a doctor that has lived in New York for many, many years, but it's crocodile tears, and where I come from, there's a very big difference in an alligator and a crocodile. Out to Linda in Missouri. Hi, Linda. Lorraine in South Carolina. Hi, Lorraine.
Good evening, Nancy. First of all, I'd like to tell you that you are a wonderful mother. I wish more women as mothers would emulate you.
You know what? I keep feeling like I'm getting on-the-job training. I'm constantly trying to read books, but they're not helping. Go ahead. What's your question, dear?
Also, my prayer goes out to the Anthony family. My question is, when she goes into her attorney's offices, are they recording the conversations that she's having with them?
I'm sure they are not. They wouldn't want those things uncovered. Anything she's saying to the attorney is covered by the attorney-client privilege and can never be repeated unless their spokesperson accidentally lets it slip like he did on national television, stating that Kelly is dead. Now, today I understand, back to Kathy Bellich, that the mouthpiece says the media, that would be CNN Headline News, committed fraud, like it was a big TV hoax, that he really didn't say that?
Yes, he's sent a release out again today saying that some reporters were purposely misleading the media, purposely misleading the public. He said that he blamed CNN for releasing a fraudulent copy of what he said, and then he went on to say there is no evidence that Kaylee is dead, and he basically, made some comments about the media that were very insulting as usual.
Let's listen to what the mouthpiece had to say.
We hear Cindy all the time now, even still, just days ago and just yesterday, still sound like she's still drinking the Casey Kool-Aid. But I think George has finally said, enough is enough here.
This is a very serious case involving not just the loss of the life of this little girl, but the loss of whatever whatever is going to happen with Casey Anthony. And for a gentleman to sit on a show, on a national show, and make a remark like Kaylee, what do you call it, cocktail or whatever he said, the Kool-Aid, Casey Kool-Aid. I mean, making fun of something like this isn't what anybody should be doing, especially if they're professionals.
So, bottom line, back out to Natisha Lance, our producer, standing by at the jail in Orlando. The mouthpiece for the defense is stating that somehow Headline News edited what he said on live TV. That's absolutely impossible. It went out on the airways live. Nobody edited that.
That's right. And in the previous release that he had released prior to the one today, he was saying that it was edited and taken out of context. However, we have heard both sides of the argument that were played on Headline News, and it is a live show, just as you stated, Nancy, so there was no editing that went on.
And very quickly, we learned that Texas EquuSearch is headed back to Orlando to pick up the search for little Kelly. Is that true to Mandy Albritton, the deputy director?
That's correct, Nancy. We'll be back in Orlando starting the search again on November 8th. That's Saturday morning.